Welcome back to Beyond the Perception. We watched another Alien movie. The movie this time was War of the Worlds. Uh, this is a movie that came out in 2005. It was directed by Steven Spielberg. I personally have never seen the movie before when we watched it, and it wasn't really what I was expecting. But we can go more into that in a bit. What did you think, Dave?
Before I get my thoughts on, yeah, it's watching another movie. I think we on the last one we got a movie recommendation. I think it was E.T. So if anyone has more recommendations, just throw them out there. We're just trying to get like an idea of how Hollywood kind of views aliens and how they kind of see how things would play out. Um, I like the movie. It wasn't. I don't think it necessarily was revolving too much about the aliens. It was more about like how Tom Cruise and his family were trying to survive whatever was going on. So I liked the movie. I thought it was a decent movie.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was gonna be like, I guess more like action packed, I guess is the way I would say it. I'm not really sure. But it ended up being more of like I thought more of like a psychological thriller because you were more so focused on like what he was doing to survive, and you were worried about like what other humans were doing as like a result to their fear.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, so War of the Worlds is about an alien invasion that was planned for like a very long time. Throughout the movie, we saw a family. It was Tom Cruise, whose name in the movie was Ray, and his children Robbie and Rachel. They had to survive like an actual nightmare. Basically, like these aliens had attacked and like for stages, kind of is how the movie set it out to be. Like the first stage where like it was, I think it was like millions of years ago, these aliens had implanted like these robot things like underneath the Earth's like core, and basically that's like what they used to start the attack. And then I guess the second stage kind of started with like the lightning strikes, where it actually got revealed that the lightning strikes were what made the aliens come down into the robot things, and then it actually like started like an EMP or a solar flare that ruined all electronics. And then the third stage was like the actual attack where they came up from the ground and actually like started to invade. So I guess my question to you, David, is do you think uh alien like it's a realistic way of attacking for them? If we were to get attacked by aliens, like do you think this could be like realistic how they planned it out like that?
Uh, well, I mean, I don't think it's realistic, but I mean, I think it could be a means of their attack. Kind of if you kind of believe in the idea that aliens built the pyramids or aliens have visited here like long time ago. Like, maybe they did build the pyramids and, maybe one day they'll come back and, they'll just shoot stuff at the pyramids and the pyramids will, go crazy or whatnot. But I mean, I don't believe the aliens built the pyramids, so I don't really believe in that.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't even think of like that. I guess if people who do think aliens built the pyramids would think that they're capable of attacking like this. I personally think that aliens could attack like this though, not because like involvement on Earth previously. Like I'm thinking like way before we were even on Earth maybe. If they were to do this, because I think that they would be so technologically like more advanced than we were, that like they'd have the opportunity to do this, and we would just never know because we were kind of scared to dive into our Earth's like core.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's dumb just to think that, like what's stopping them from coming today or like 20 years ago or 20 years from now, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't make sense for them to attack like later in our cycle because they would understand that we would be getting more advanced. Or maybe they attacked as a way of like saving humans from themselves.
What do you mean?
Maybe like because you saw in the movie how humans were inevitably like evil. Because even when crowds of people were trying to run away from these aliens, people were still willing to hurt each other to get like an advantage on others to get away from them, right? So like maybe aliens would attack us as like a means of like saving ourselves
I don't think
because we're
that
like
I don't think that really meant people are evil. I think it was just people are scared and are gonna do whatever they think is necessary to survive. So if it means, like fighting other people to try to survive, I mean, I don't think that means someone's evil.
yeah, fair enough. I think yeah, I guess it was a way of showing like how fear impacts different people. But like do you, like in the movie, I don't know if you remember this, but like when people were trying to like rip the glass off the window to the point that their own hands were like bleeding in the glass. Like, do you think people would really go to those types of extremes?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that thing where I think it was in biology, like if it's like a fuck will to survive, your body's gonna, I forgot how it's explained, but I remember that was in one of my biology classes explaining how if you're like in a live or die scenario, your body's gonna contract its muscles to, be able to like move extra weight. Because I remember seeing a video about a hiker who had a rock fall on top of him that was like way heavier than him, and he was legit like seconds away from death, and he was able to just throw the rock off himself. But after that, like his body was like broken down because it took all that just to throw the rock off. So I feel like in that case, if it's like if you're thinking in your head, it's like life or death. If I don't get into this car, yeah, you're gonna do whatever it takes.
Yeah, I guess I yeah, I guess I didn't think of that. Cause like you even see that with like you know how they say like moms have like super mom strength and like they even have like the
Yeah.
ability to like lift cars sometimes, like when there's like a child like stuck under it. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
it's
like
like it's like when someone's like trying to stab you with a knife. You're probably gonna try to like, you'll probably get stabbed in the process, but you're still gonna keep fighting. All that adrenaline's gonna, ignore the pain.
yeah, you won't feel it until like after your body knows it's in a safer place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just found it fun or interesting how like even though like they were all running from a common threat, there was points where humans were even like so hostile to each other. And, like with the car, whenever they had the car, like they were literally shooting the people who got the car after them, who like had just stolen it from them. You know, like I just thought it was crazy how hostile humans were to each other instead of like working together.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you gotta understand that not everyone's gonna work together, so it's like they have an understanding that, you know, it's me and that's it. Like I'm here to survive. The person to my left and the person to my right also have the same mindset, so I gotta fight them also to get to that.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
like
like a free for all.
if I don't get to the car first, someone else is gonna take it. So I gotta kill this guy before he gets to it. And I know that guy's gonna try to kill me to get to the car also, so I gotta, fight back.
Yeah, you just have to protect yourself from everyone.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess like we saw a lot of them like have like psychological breaks in the movie, like the guy in the basement. Do you think in like that situation, Ray killing the guy in the basement was like justified?
Mm, I think in his case it was justified just because he was trying to get him to be quiet because it was life or death. If the aliens heard him screaming, they would just come back and kill him and his daughter. I don't think it's
Yeah.
just. I think there could have been other scenarios he could have just left. I think
Hmm.
leaving would have helped. But I mean, I think it's justified.
Yeah. I mean, I think in that situation, I would have been put on high alert of like possibly doing that to the other person if my daughter was in the situation that she was in. Because I don't. Do you remember when he like walked out of that room and he was like trying to talk to her on the stairs, like creepily? Like
Yeah.
I feel like that right then and there should have been like okay, like maybe don't kill him. I don't agree with killing him there, but like you know what I mean. Like, get the fuck out or something.
Yeah, because at the end he saw the old man and once they all saw that the aliens were like killing or not killing, but they were like yeah, I guess they were killing him and then taking their blood and drinking or whatever. He kind of snapped once he saw that and he's like, I'm not gonna let them take my blood. I'm just gonna kill myself.
Yeah, because he
Or
was
no,
like
he wasn't
digging a
killing
grave
himself.
for
He was trying to dig a tunnel to get
yeah
safe.
to like the subways in the city or something.
Yeah,
Like it was very clear that that guy was like he lost his mind. You didn't know what he was capable of doing at that point, I guess.
yeah,
I just thought it was weird how like that guy like when you first met him, he was like we got to stick together, you know, like we kind of had to like band together and like stay away from the crazy people and then he like kind of ended up like, going crazy like a few minutes later.
yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for what I would do, but I feel like I'd probably also go crazy if I saw aliens doing that to people.
Yeah, you can't blame the guy for going crazy. I mean, this there's an alien invasion. You don't know what's going on. Everyone's like freaking out. Everything you see is just gonna affect your mind differently.
Yeah, and they didn't even know like the capabilities of the aliens because like when they first arrived, people were like walking up to them, and then they started getting like laser beamed.
Yeah. And it's just like as the more you see, the more you're kind of starting to lose your mind, and then once you get to a certain point, your mind's just gonna, break.
Yeah, it's like snaps almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the movie, like his child Robbie, I know I talked to you about this like during the movie.
Yeah.
I felt like really weird about how he wanted to go like fight the aliens so bad. Like it was almost like he had like a Call of Duty like we saw with like historical events where like America's been attacked and then like people want to go sign up for war.
Wow, you're
I felt like
stealing
it
my
was like
words.
yeah, my bad. I felt like it was like kind of like that, but I don't know. I thought it was weird because like I wouldn't do that. I'd be running the other way.
Yeah, that's why you're not a soldier, and that's why you're a college student because you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
There's other
Do you
people
think
who,
you would?
me probably not. I don't see myself. I mean, if it came down to it, like I got no choice, then yeah, I'd fight back. But right now, personally, I'm not a fighter, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It also depends on what the circumstances are. If I have a family and they're like right in front of me, yeah, I'm gonna fight back. If I have
Hmm.
a way to, go out of my way and able to keep them safe without fighting, then I'm gonna do that.
I just felt like it was weird how like before Robbie left, he was like all about like, oh, we have to protect my sister, we have to protect his sister, and then like randomly he just like wanted to go join the military and like leave his sister, you know?
Well, also I talked to you about this. Like I said, it was more of a like a I want to protect my sister, but then he at some point you're gonna have to realize like the best way to protect my sister and my family is to go fight.
Hmm.
Instead of just sitting back and letting them take over, you're like the best way to protect my sister is to go fight and not let them kill everybody.
Yeah, and I guess he felt more protected with like all of the National Guard or whatever military unit was with them.
Yeah.
It was like trained professionals, I guess. Uh, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, do your
I found it
thinking.
really, I found it weird how Robbie just like randomly appeared at the end of the movie too. Like I understand like to for the plot of the movie like we needed to see like Tom Cruise's situation in the basement, but I felt it was like really weird how we saw that big ass explosion and it's almost like that you want to think that Robbie died and then he just like appears at the end like untouched and unharmed. I didn't really like that.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like I said, it was part of the plot. Like, you kind of get that, he thinks his son is dead, makes it to the end, and he sees his son. It's like, oh wow, it's such a relief. You're still alive.
Yeah, I just wish they would have like showed more, but I guess they didn't need to. There was no point.
Yeah, there's no point.
It was just like a feel good part at the end of the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Stop your
Um,
yawning, buddy.
yeah, my bad, dude. It's been a long day.
It's always long days for you, man.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, I guess like my big takeaway from the movie was that even in the end of times, humans won't think of others first. They just think of themselves.
I mean, trying to find a good example to show, or not to show, but to compare it to.
Yeah.
I feel like in those scenarios, not everyone's gonna have good intentions. Like you see, like there's riots that'll happen like in cities, and you'll see people go looting, because everyone's thinking for themselves. Like in a scenario where it's like a state of disaster, you're not gonna be thinking about like, oh, we gotta be nice to everybody, we gotta share, we gotta do all this. Like your first thought process to go get food for yourself, find shelter for yourself, and just be safe for yourself and maybe your family.
Yeah. You don't think about others.
Yeah, like maybe like after like maybe after you got your situation settled and you're safe, you got everything you need. Maybe then you can invite other people over. But even in that case, you don't know if you invite these people and they're gonna steal from you. And even
Yeah,
if you
you
do
don't know
invite,
who can be trusted.
yeah, even if you do invite these people, that means your food and all your rations are, gonna be cut by half because you're inviting more people.
Hmm. I feel like it's almost like as you were saying earlier, in these situations, like your survival instincts are like kicked on overdrive, so you're literally thinking like fight or flight the whole time.
Yeah, you're also not gonna
And
be able to think straight either, especially when you
yeah,
just
because
hear, a big ass alien robot, just up there just shooting beams down and killing everybody. You're not gonna be thinking straight.
it's like you let the impulse decisions win, because like it's the only thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought the like movie was kind of like mid the whole way around. Like I go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah, I think it was a little mid too. I was just gonna bring up what were your thoughts on the how the aliens looked like from them being in the robot or not? I don't know if the giant. I don't know if it was a robot because it did look like it had like tentacles and shit like that. So I don't want to call it a
Yeah, it was like a
robot.
metal like octopus, I guess.
Yeah, it was kind of like a
Weird
weird
thing.
alien octopus. I'm just calling it alien. But what you think of the big alien and then the actual aliens that came out of it that were controlling it and how they looked?
Okay, so the big aliens were like freaky because they were like massive, and then they had like they were indestructible because like the military couldn't even touch them, and
Hmm.
they were like destroying stuff out of the air with their shields. I thought that was like really weird how they were like completely untouchable. Like if the situation like that was like realistic, like we would be dead. Like there's nothing we could do.
I mean, I think it kind of is realistic because I think in a lot of movies aliens will come down and they have this kind of force field, which I feel like that's kind of in my mind that is realistic because I feel like they would have just the advanced technology to be able to make a force field and protect themselves from us.
Yeah, because I mean in these movies you're seeing like whole fleets of aliens come over.
Yeah.
So at that point, if they're able to like transfer like a whole colony of people that are like warriors, to be fair, to like take over another world, like they would have some stuff that would make them untouchable.
Yeah, I would say that's a interesting point to make that a lot of alien movies and a lot of just movies about like space involve like some t type of force field.
Yeah, it just shows the amount of technology they have in comparison to us, because like we don't have the ability for this.
Yeah. That could also be a misconception eventually, maybe aliens will come and we expect them to have a force field and it's just like something that, maybe it's just like not realistic at all.
Yeah, like what if the aliens are like District 9 ones that are like super primitive?
Yeah. Like they
Yeah.
didn't have a force field. Or maybe they did. I think they did on the ship and eventually like once the ship was working they had a force field. But the
Yeah.
little like ship that they were driving got hit by a rocket so you could see that didn't have a force field.
Hmm. And it was just like those aliens like couldn't think for themselves. So, like we always see like movies where aliens almost think of like a this huge like collective unit on this like single level.
Yeah.
Like what if like everything we think of aliens is like kind of wrong?
I will say a lot of alien movies do have something called a mothership. District 9 had that. This one didn't have like one mothership, like one central like big ship where they all came from. That's one thing I
Yeah,
didn't understand with the lightning. Like, where was the lightning coming from? I didn't understand that.
that's what I was trying to figure out because I think I was talking to you about it too because it was almost like they had the ability to manipulate like the clouds to force lightning strikes out. Like they had the ability to manipulate like weather in itself, but I thought that was weird.
Yeah, like like they were like just coming down. Like I said, like I feel like there was a quote unquote mothership. We just were not able to see it.
Yeah, but you would almost think if they had like a mothership like that, then they wouldn't just like randomly stop attacking like they did at the end of the movie.
But but that's kind of because they were like dying out. So I don't know exactly. They could have sent a mothership, and they just like abandoned the mothership and just came down, and were hoping to survive off of the human blood.
Yeah, that maybe that is what they were doing is trying to gather human blood to live off of.
Well, yeah, that's what
I
kind of
didn't
like
think
the
like
ending
that.
kind of showed. It was like that they were like a dying species, so they were coming here and hoping that this would be their saving grace. But at the end, they kind of said they were kind of doomed once they came here because it was like they came here and they were gonna die regardless.
Yeah, and then I guess like the mothership. I mean, we only know about the attacks in the specific area in the movie. Like, we don't even know if those attacks were going on worldwide. like assuming that they were going on worldwide and assuming that that species was like a dying species that needed us for survival, I'm assuming that nothing was left in the mothership because they would have had to like use everything they had.
Yeah. Well, there were other attacks around the world. I think it said. I think at one point I can't remember what country it said, but somebody said that some other country was able to find like the weak spot, and they were like able to fight back. So like they were
Oh
all
yeah,
over
but
the world.
yeah. That was the guy, the nut job that went crazy in the basement. He was talking about how Japan had taken him out before.
Oh yeah, which to be fair, he was a nut job, so maybe that wasn't even true.
Yeah, he could have just been like a conspiracy. But then again, they say a lot of conspiracies actually turn out to
Yeah, but no, that guy was a nut job. That's like that's
be
I was Tom Cruise, you're the nut job.
true. Okay. And then going back to what you were saying about like the alien appearance,
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting because it's going back to like almost the District 9 thing where most alien movies I've seen in my life show like them being like these little weird like gray or green species. Even in this movie, they like looked like I'm trying to like reptiles, right? Like bugs, not bugs, but like they had like the weird spikes and stuff.
Yeah, these guys looked very weird. I think they had like 3 legs or something. They looked very weird.
Yeah, they were kind of scary.
Yeah, they were like all head and like a little bit of body.
Yeah. And then they had that huge eye thing that they like shoved down into the basement to find other humans. That
Yeah.
was like gross looking. That kind of freaked me out.
I think it was cool to see at one point like Tom Cruise to hide from the aliens, the like actual aliens like came out and like were looking around. I think it was cool when he
Hmm.
like hid behind a mirror and the alien kind of walked up to the mirror and it was kind of confused. Kind of shows
Yeah,
like
and
how
then
aliens might be confused by like stuff that we have down here.
yeah, because they almost seemed like they almost had like no object permanence. And then they saw like the girl's foot slip, and then
Hmm.
they realized like, oh shit, like there's something behind that.
Yeah, and then they saw it, and it was just a shoe, and they were like, "Oh, no one can be here just because it's a shoe and no body attached to it."
Yeah. So I mean, I think that that part could be pretty realistic. Like we have stuff here that they wouldn't know about, and vice versa, obviously,
Yeah, I
because
think
we
in
didn't know
like
about a lot of stuff they had.
yeah, I think in like a lot of movies you'll see like aliens kind of picking up like a random thing like a spoon, and they'll like not understand what a spoon is.
Yeah. It kind of just shows like maybe they're like advanced past the point of all that.
Yeah, or maybe they're just advanced and they just don't understand like stuff that we find uses for. Like we use a spoon, maybe they don't use a spoon. They just eat out of a bowl like a dog.
Yeah, like we might think that, or they might think that we're very primitive in our ways, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was gonna say, I wish we saw more of the aliens themselves. Like, just like overall, I wish we saw more of them. Like, there was points I thought it was like really good how they kept it like a thriller. Like, my heart was beating the whole time we were watching this for the most part. I just wish we saw more of them themselves because they looked freaky as hell.
Yeah, I do wish we got to see more of them. Because at one point it was just like near the ending, I think it was like I didn't keep track of it. It was like 15 to 30 minutes was just being with that whack job in his
Hmm.
basement or whatever. And it's just like, I don't really care about this. I want to see aliens. I'm here to see an alien movie. I want to see them fight aliens.
Yeah, and they were showing like how they were spewing blood like all over the place. And then I guess like you said, they were using the blood as like to keep themselves alive. But I did like how the director left like a lot of stuff like that in, where you were just forced to draw conclusions for yourself on what was actually like going on.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oh, what do you think the other way of saying it would be? Or like, what would your opinion be?
No, I don't have any opinion on it.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying like you could say that. Maybe someone else views it differently.
Yeah, that's fair. Because it would also be cool for him to like kind of tell me what was going on, because I didn't. It was different.
Yeah, I feel like there was not a lot of story to it.
No, I feel like it was just like this is what's happening. Like it was just that, you know?
Yeah, like there was multiple times where people were like, they've been planning it for like millions of years or whatever. It's like I feel like there could have been a little more backstory and like an actual explanation of like what happened and how they, the little robots were like under the ground or whatever. Like you don't think like maybe somebody was digging and maybe was able to see it or like how deep down were they? Because they were just able to shoot like
Yeah,
lightning down and get in it instantly. Like how deep down
yeah,
was it?
they just like kind of like, oh yeah, because it's like an earthquake. So it was like an earthquake, right? When they were coming out the ground.
I think I don't remember exactly.
Gotcha. So if it was an earthquake, I think that would just like show that it was buried like super deep, and then maybe like it was just so deep that we couldn't have dug down to find it. But I don't know because archaeologists have been going crazy around there.
Yeah, like how come nobody found it like like 100 like 50,000 years ago or like 1,000 years ago if this was so like was planned for millions of years.
Yeah, yeah, because I think the nut job in the basement said it was planned for what 2 point something million. Like they were
Yeah,
buried down there.
I think some
But
news
then
lady
again, he.
also said it.
Oh, okay, yeah. If I don't really remember, but like overall, what would you rate the movie? Like out of 10?
Mm, Besides the whole, honestly, if it was a movie and it was everything besides the entire part where Tom Cruise was in that basement with the old man, I would honestly probably give it like a 7 or 8. But because of
Hmm.
that scene, the entire scene with him being in the basement with the old man, it drops down like a 5 or 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably give this movie a 5.5, just because I thought like overall it was pretty good. Like they did a good job for the majority of the movie, but then I felt like you said that part where they were in the basement, I felt like that was just kind of dragged on for eternity. Like I think even during the movie, me and you were talking about how we were wanting, like we were just waiting for that part to be over.
Yeah, like I was starting to get like sleepy while watching the movie during that part. Like before that, I was entertained. I was I was what's it like you said like it was a thriller, so I was like my heart was pumping. I was like, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah, and then once they got into the basement, I was kind of pumping when the aliens got down there. And then after the aliens disappeared, I was just kind of like, okay, this is kind of like it's. I know the movie's coming to an end, and then that's when he gets like abducted, and then start stuff got like picked up again. But
Yeah, I thought the ending was actually like terrible. I thought the ending was shit. I think like he got sucked up and he threw the grenades in the robot and then the robot died. And then next thing you know, like the aliens are dying. Like there's no explanation really. Like yeah, at the end,
no, it just
I think it's
happened.
Morgan Freeman talking and he's explaining, they were doomed as soon as they came down here. Like it was kind of like they had no way to end it, so they're just like, all right, it's done. We got 2 hours. Like, all right, we need to end this. Let's end it here.
Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty cliche ending.
Yeah. I'm a big
Like I
Tom
know we
Cruise
kind
fan,
of
so I like Tom Cruise.
yeah. So I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but do you think like just to finish off, overall, do you think this way of invading slash attacking would be a potential reality? I'm gonna go ahead and say like I think it could be, but it probably isn't. I feel like it would be more like straightforward than that.
What do you mean straightforward?
As in like if an alien species was to attack us, I think that they would just like hit us with something stronger. You know, like almost like a nuke that we wouldn't even know about. It wouldn't be robots coming out from under the ground like years and years ago that were placed. I think it would just be like a dead-on attack, and then they just hit us, put troops on the ground, and screw us up.
You think aliens got strong enough? You know, but then that'd make a really shit movie. They just drop a nuke and then we're all dead. Shitty movie, man.
Y-
There's no
Yeah,
movie
you're
in there.
right,
There's no
but
plot in that.
I think that would be the reality for a species trying to like put us to extinction, though.
I,
Unless they were trying to, unless they needed the Earth to live on, then we can go into different theories about that.
yeah, to be fair, I think that's a good point. I feel like this wouldn't be realistic. I feel like if aliens ever did exist and they want to just take over the Earth, they probably would just drop a massive bomb and kill us all.
Yeah, because the way like these guys were desperate and they needed us to like live, I felt like it was really just like for a really planned out attack, they got taken down like easily.
Yeah.
Not easily, but like they just randomly stopped working. Like
Well, I don't think it was
I
a
don't know.
planned attack. I think it was planned in the sense that they planted these robots on the ground. They're gonna come down. But after that, I feel like there was no plans of that. After that, it was kind of like, all right, we need to get the blood. Well, see, all All right, I'm going back to this. I think the movie's actually stupid now, because it makes no sense to me now. Thinking back about it, because they came up out of the ground and they started just shooting at these at everybody with
Lasers.
yeah, the laser that just disintegrated people, and then next
Yeah.
thing you know they're killing people and taking their blood. Like what's the correlation there? Like I need some explanation. Yeah, I'm moving down my ranking from 6 to 5. No, 4.5. Only because Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise gets a point 5 added to it. I'm actually mad now. I'm mad. I'm about to go leave a Rotten Tomato review on them.
I didn't think it was as bad as David thinks, but I definitely think there was a lot of parts that made me like shake my head, and I was just like, "What the heck is like going on here?"
Yeah, 'cause now that I'm thinking about it, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like they had this like you say like we had an argument about this earlier where it was like an EMP or whatever, and you said like
Oh yeah.
only like old cars would work. But like at one point, like one dude was able to fix a car that was broken by changing something, and then you saw the military driving their vehicles, and then you saw the fucking Air Force flying jets. Like I mean, I just think there was nothing explained that made sense.
Yeah. I would have to do more research into what like a EMP, or I think even when someone said like a solar flare it could have been.
Yeah, but
I'd have to look
those are
more into like
just
what those
those are
actually
just
do.
theories that they said.
Yeah, that is true. They don't actually know for certain.
Like I'd be like even if it
Maybe
was a solar flare, I'd find it hard to believe that would just affect like one small town. It wouldn't affect the entire, world or like
y-
the side that's facing the sun.
yeah, and then he did change out like one part in that truck and it just started working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that just made me mad thinking about all the little like plot holes that, made no sense. That just makes me mad. Like what was the point of just
They didn't explain
disintegrating everybody and killing everybody?
for that long of a movie. I feel like I didn't understand any of it.
Yeah, there was no plot. They jump down, they're killing everybody, run away. Oh wait, now they're not killing people. Wait, yes, they're killing people, but they're taking the blood too. Now these red vines are somehow spreading. It never explained what the little red vines were that were everywhere.
Yeah, and then randomly, do you remember like when Robbie ran into the army area? There was like a big ass nuke.
Yeah,
Like, where was? Why wouldn't you start with that if you were going to disintegrate us in the first place?
yeah, and then the jets were flying. I'm assuming everyone just died, I guess, that went over there.
Yeah, except Robbie,
Yeah,
apparently.
I don't know. There's a lot of just plot holes that have just made me really mad, and just I would not recommend this movie to anybody now, unless you want to watch Tom Cruise. Love Tom Cruise.
Well, we can definitely tell from the time that District 9 came out to 2005 when War of the Worlds came out, there's a big shift in quality of alien movies there,
Yeah,
as in plot. So I definitely think we can keep watching movies. I think someone you like you said someone suggested E.T. I
yeah.
think that'd be a good one to watch because you said you didn't watch that, right?
Yeah, well, the movie came out like 1980 something, so neither of us watched it. Well, maybe you could have watched it. I won't assume that.
I watched it as a kid with my mom. Like I don't remember it like that. I just remembered E.T. and like what he can do.
Yeah, I remember one time for ET. I remember I was you remember like going to like McDonald's or Burger King as a little kid, and they would give out little toys that you get with your
Oh, and the
meal.
Happy Meals?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah, yeah,
going. I
yeah.
don't remember if it was McDonald's or Burger King, but we went there, and they gave out like a little ET toy. I guess it was like maybe like a 10-year anniversary or 20-year anniversary, something like that. When I got it, it was a little ET
Hmm.
little figure. So that's the only way I know ET from that little figure.
Gotcha. I know that there's a part in the movie where he like sticks his finger out and he like glows and he heals like this girl who like got a cut on her leg. And then at one point he like makes a bike fly, and that's all I remember.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly if we'll watch that movie just 'cause it's so old. Not that old movies are bad, but I don't know if it'd be interesting enough for us to be able to, watch it.
That is
So
true.
we
I
can
think
watch it if you want. I don't care.
I'll give a hot take right now. I think a lot of people say movies are classics because they're nostalgia factors. I don't think they're actually classics because when you compare them to today's movies, they're not that good.
Well, okay, I'm gonna disagree with you. Oh man, I don't want to argue with you. You're a dumbass. There are classics, you just don't understand.
Anyways, guys, this has been Beyond the Reception. Thank you guys as always for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and like subscribe if you guys want. Let us know if there's anything we can do better, and see you guys next time.
See you guys.